Well, 12 women got together to help each other save money to help pay off some bills and taxes. Now, they were all from low-income families in San Francisco's Mission District, and they had no credit and couldn't even qualify for loans. So stepping in to help these women was a newly created organization called Mission Asset Fund, created to help low-income families build savings and investment opportunities so that they can fully participate in all of the financial support and services that we all enjoy from banks and other lending institutions. Now, with me is the executive director of the organization, Jose Quinones, and we were just talking before we got started here that this is something relatively new.
Right.
You have 4 groups of people doing this, and it's only been since the end of last year?
That's right. Yeah, no, we got started our work in October of last year. Of course, it took us a long time to develop the program, develop the system, develop the infrastructure to make this happen, but we were very fortunate that in October of last year we started with our first group, who is a group of 4 people that are lending themselves $200.
Okay, so let's explain this very quickly.
Okay.
You and I and some other friends, we get together and I give to somebody $200, and everybody donates $200. And what do you do with that money?
Right. Well, let me even take a little step back from that. In the immigrant communities, you know, in the Asian community and Latino communities, a very rich tradition of what we call peer lending circles, where people very informally get together and pool their money together so that they can each have a shot at getting that pooled money. So in Mexico, they call them tandas, cestas, cundinas. They have, you know, there's 1,000 different names for these things, but the practice is all the same, where we all put in our money, and then somebody in that group then takes the money, you know, and they do this in rotation until everybody has a chance at getting it. And again, this is a very informal practice throughout the developing world. What we are finding is that in the United States, a lot of the immigrant communities here are doing that. And so what we're trying to say is that, well, if we formalize that practice, we can actually help them improve their credit score by us, one, recognizing what they're doing, recording this lending that's happening within their circles, and then reporting it to the credit agencies so that they can look at this activity and start them helping them either build or improve their credit scores.
So really, we're all saving our own money, and then we're kind of creating this pool, and we take turns. One of us takes turns, and we take that pool of money and we do something with it.
Right.
Whether it's paying off bills or applying it to businesses or whatever, you use that pool to kind of help yourself underwrite your expenses.
Yeah, you know, it's different people have different needs for it. I mean, some people use it as a cash flow management. Some people use it to pay high cost, you know, credit debts. Other people use it for savings. It's more like a forced savings in a way. And so, you know, we're noticing that people are, you know, actually they're very savvy with their money. You know, immigrants, low-income people, they're very savvy because they have to be, because they don't have much money to begin with. So every money, every dollar, every penny counts.
But they were doing it among themselves without the formality of a financial institution.
Right, exactly, and that's great because they're using what we call their social trust, their social capital to do this, because they have, you know, relationships with one another, their family members, their friends, their co-workers. There's something that binds these groups of people together. So what we're doing as a Mission Asset Fund, we're providing a structure around it that will allow them to get credit for what they're doing, because we believe that that's bona fide financial activity happening within the immigrant community that the banks, the FICO and all the credit agencies should recognize, because it's actually, you know, it is exactly what we need to be taken into account. And so that's what we're doing, and we have, you know, tremendous support for this activity. We've gotten a lot of help from different foundations and banks to help us through this. I mean, we're doing this in partnership with One California Bank. We also have gotten considerable support to do this program from Citibank. You know, it's a bank that you know, that has valued the innovation of this particular program. So they're really helping us think it through.
Okay, so let's take the next step. Now that you have you're working with One California Bank and you formalized it, how does that happen? I still have my money, and I still want to pool it in somehow. So what happens with the bank?
So what happens is, for example, we require for each of the members to have a bank account.
Okay.
And so thus far, out of everybody that we're working with, 3 people did not have a bank account, but because they wanted to participate, they got a bank account. So we got them banked. Right? So they have a bank account, and then they give us a promissory note and also permission to withdraw their contribution. So then we tell One California Bank, okay, you know, this person has given us permission to withdraw $50 per month or $100 per month, and then they bring that money over to us. And then when we collect all of the funds, then we then turn it right over to them, to the individual whose turn it is. And that's what's considered then the loan.
So if I had my money and I put it into the pool,
yeah.
Now I put my money into the bank.
Right.
And with everybody's permission,
right.
You take the money out of my savings account.
That's right.
Out of everybody's savings account,
right.
actually. So then now you still have the pool.
Exactly.
And you take that money and then you give it to one person.
Right.
And you put it into their bank account.
Exactly.
And the loan, therefore,
is that
money.
So it's like this is the folks that are sort of like lending each other's money to each other, but they're doing it through this banking infrastructure where we can record it and report it. That's the innovation. We can report it to FICO.
Right.
Because again, when folks do this informally, is like basically what they do is they have one person driving to each of the people's houses, collecting the cash, and then getting frustrated because they're getting stuck in traffic or this or that, and somebody doesn't.
Right.
So we just do this electronically through the banking system, so that way we can record it and report it to FICO, because we're saying that this is bona fide financial activity that's happening. It's a peer lending that is happening informally, but we want to formalize it so people can get credit for it.
So now these people have a credit rating.
That's right.
Right, so that eventually they can enjoy credit cards and ask for loans and get financial assistance for future endeavors?
Yeah, because what we're doing is basically creating a bigger pool of credit-worthy borrowers. We're helping improve the credit score, and also what we're doing is providing them financial education about these issues. I mean, we sit with these groups. For example, we're like a ghost member, if you will, where we sit with them. Let's talk about credit scores. We show them the credit reports, and we go through it line by line so that they can actually learn about how to read the credit reports.
You're providing education and information for them. So there's nobody losing anything.
No.
Banks get money in the bank.
Right.
Right. All the people participating get a credit score.
That's right.
The organization is gaining because you're helping the community, which is what you're trying to do.
Right. There's a huge problem of the unbanked in the Latino community. There were some studies that said that about 45% of all Latinos across the country are considered unbanked, meaning they have no bank accounts, or they're banking with, or they're doing things with their fringe financial institutions. So it's a huge financial problem, actually. So we're trying to figure out ways of creating culturally relevant financial products and services to get folks from the margins of society to the mainstream of society. Right. So this product is to say that, well, we're doing these activities already, so why not formalize it so that we can, fasten the process of getting them into the financial mainstream.
But you're just formalizing something that's been occurring for hundreds of years in different societies. Okay, unfortunately, we're out of time. You're going to have to come back because your organization does a lot more than just this one little project. But we want to let people know about that because it is innovative and it is doing making a difference for a small group right now, and hopefully it'll get bigger. We're passing out the word now, so come back again, Jose, and join us.
Great. Well, thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Thank you. And still ahead on Bay Area People Walking Together to Fight Arthritis. We'll tell you how in just a little while. We'll be right back.